Casimir III, also known as Casimir the Great, Kazimierz Wielki in Polish, was one of the most remarkable monarchs in Polish history. Born on April 30, 1310, and reigning from 1333 until his death in 1370, he was the last king from the Piast dynasty, which had ruled Poland since the country's inception in the 10th century. Known for his administrative reforms, strengthening of the judiciary, and expansion of Polish territory, Casimir earned the title the Great not through conquest alone, but by transforming a fragmented and relatively weak kingdom into a centralized, prosperous, and respected European state. Early life and ascension to the throne. Casimir was the youngest son of King Władysław I the Elbohai and Queen Jadwiga of Kalisz. His father's reign was marked by persistent efforts to unify Polish lands that had been fragmented since the 12th century. Casimir's early education and upbringing prepared him for leadership, although he was not initially expected to inherit the throne due to his position as a younger son. However, after the deaths of his elder siblings, he became the heir apparent. When Casimir ascended the throne in 1333, Poland was emerging from a period of disunity and foreign domination. The country faced threats from the Teutonic Knights, Bohemia, and Lithuanian incursions, while internally, the feudal lords often challenged royal authority. Diplomatic and political reforms. One of Casimir's greatest achievements was his masterful diplomacy. Rather than relying solely on military campaigns, he often preferred negotiation and treaties. Early in his reign, he signed the Treaty of Trenczyn in 1335, in which he renounced claims to the crown of Bohemia in exchange for recognition of his authority in Poland. This strategic decision secured peace with Bohemia and allowed Casimir to focus on internal reforms and other territorial ambitions. Casimir also settled disputes with the Teutonic Knights, although not all of these were successful in regaining lands such as Pomerelia, Gdansk Pomerania. Nevertheless, his efforts prevented large-scale wars and allowed the kingdom to stabilize and develop. Legal and administrative achievements. Casimir III is best remembered for his extensive legal reforms. He established a unified legal code, known as the Statute of Wielka, for Lesser Poland, and Statute of Piotrków, for Greater Poland. These statutes provided a more consistent and organized legal system throughout the kingdom and were among the first codified laws in Poland. He also founded a council of royal advisors and strengthened the role of local assemblies, sejmiks, laying the groundwork for what would become the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth's parliamentarian traditions. His efforts helped reduce the arbitrary power of the nobility and increased the efficiency of the royal administration. Economic growth and urban development. Casimir the Great focused intensely on economic development. He introduced new taxes, reformed coinage, and promoted trade. His policies encouraged immigration, especially of German Jews, who were granted royal protection under the Statute of Kalisz. This resulted in the growth of a productive and loyal urban population, especially in towns and cities. Under his reign, more than 50 castles were built or fortified to protect Poland's borders. He also granted town charters to over 100 settlements, which stimulated urban development. This earned him a reputation as a builder king, and the famous Polish saying was coined. He found Poland built of wood and left it built of stone. Support for education and religion. Casimir was a patron of education. In 1364, he founded the University of Krakow, known today as the Jagiellonian University. Though it ceased to function for a brief time after his death, it would later be revived and become one of the oldest and most prestigious universities in Europe. He also maintained religious tolerance, a relatively rare stance in medieval Europe. He respected the rights of the Jewish population and allowed various religious groups to coexist, helping make Poland a haven for persecuted minorities in future centuries. Personal life and legacy. Casimir's personal life was complex. He married 4 times, though his marriages were often politically motivated and sometimes controversial, such as his marriage to a woman of lower noble status, which created disputes with the church. Despite multiple marriages, Casimir had no legitimate male heirs. This led to a succession crisis after his death. As a result, Louis I of Hungary, his nephew, ascended to the Polish throne, initiating a personal union between Poland and Hungary. Casimir died on November 5, 1370, in Krakow. He was buried in the Wawel Cathedral, a traditional resting place for Polish kings. Conclusion. Casimir III the Great was a visionary monarch, whose reign marked a golden age in Polish medieval history. He brought stability, reform, and prosperity to a country that had long been plagued by internal fragmentation and external threats. His balanced approach to diplomacy, justice, and development set the stage for the powerful and influential Polish state that would emerge in later centuries.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel.